morning, good Friday morning, each and every one of you joining us this morning. Hope everybody is having a blessed morning. You're up and ready. The sun is minus 7, yes. The sun should be just about peeking over the Himalayas, and everybody should be getting ready to start a beautiful, fantastic, productive Friday. Good morning, Levi. Good morning, everybody. Want to say good morning to the folks joining us on the GBN Television Facebook page, the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, GBN channel 7, 11, and 20, and of course the folks who are always with me, my family, the loyal listeners, Classic 105.5, 105.9. It is the 13th day of March 2020, Friday the 13th for the superstitious people who didn't realize the date, and it is also a historic date in Grenada's history. We'll get into that a little bit later into the show. But good morning, everybody. Good morning to the folks across the Caribbean, all my Caribbean brothers and sisters, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Antigua, Anguilla, Dominica, Barbados, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, St. Martin, Puerto Rico, Anguilla, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Bart's, Cuba. I said Haiti? Where am I missing? Bermuda, Guyana, Venezuela. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a Caribbean vibe this morning. The thing's starting to get coconius in the region, but let's keep our spirits up and hope for the best. Good morning to all our international friends and family, the US, Canada, Switzerland, Sweden, United Kingdom, China, Japan, North Korea, Botswana, Nigeria, Spain, Bolivia, Estonia. I'm missing folks. I said Nigeria, Kenya. I'm missing folks. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Hope you will have a good day. You are having a good day. You had a good day. That should cover everybody in every part of the world, no matter the time of day. Yep. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, everybody. Hope everybody is having a fantastic morning so far. It's Friday. The weekend is finally here, and a lot of people have been waiting patiently for it. It is finally here. Just about an 8-hour work to do, and then you can relax for at least 2 more days. Let's start with the word of the day as usual. And this morning's word of the day, hobgoblin. 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 It's a noun which means something causing superstitious fear. Hobgoblin. It fits on today, Friday the 13th. Something causing superstitious fear. Hobgoblin is a compound of the nouns hob and goblin. Hob is a pet form or nickname of Robin or Robert, was used as early in the 15th century as a shortened form of Robin. Goblin comes from Middle English, which means a devil, incubus, or fairy, from Middle French. Further etymology is uncertain and speculative. The French forms may come from medieval Latin words from an unrecorded late Latin word which also means domestic spirit. The Latin suffix inus and the French suffix in complete the word. Hobgoblin entered English in the first half of the 16th century. An example of the use of the word, a foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds, adored by little statesmen. Another example of the use of the word this morning, the enemy was very real, literally an existential foe, not just the hobgoblin of alleged paranoia. The word of the day, hobgoblin, Hobgoblin, a noun which means something causing superstitious fear. And this morning's health tip of the day, specifically coronavirus health tip of the day, this one encourages us to practice many other good, healthy habits. It includes getting plenty of sleep, being physically active, managing your stress, drinking plenty of fluids, and eating nutritious foods. So as we prepare ourselves, it's in the south in Trinidad, it's in the north in St. Vincent, that's the closest they are so far. Get plenty of sleep, be physically active, manage your stress, drink plenty of fluids, and eat nutritious foods. Or as Dr. Martin has been advising, the brightly colored foods, the green, the purple, the orange, the yellow, whatever brightly colored food you could eat, yam down on it. Yes, we fighting the thing strong. I am yet to hear of somebody, I saw a meme, I should say, on social media yesterday, asking Caribbean folks to come together and figure out which bush would fight the coronavirus. I want somebody to suggest a bush that could possibly fight this virus. You know, you have bush for everything. High blood pressure, low blood pressure. High blood sugar, low blood sugar. All man jack have a bush. Somebody needs to tell me what's the bush for coronavirus. I serious, you know, what's the bush? Right, let's see what is celebrated today. A few weird things. Today it is Air Muff Day, Good Samaritan Day. It is also Canine Veterans Day, Coconut Tart Day. That's a cake, all in all inside. And in recognition of the Friday the 13th, it's Open an Umbrella Indoors Day. Celebrated on March 13th annually in a national science experiment of sorts. Open an umbrella indoors and pay attention to whether or not you suffer any bad luck. I ain't sure I want to test faith, but if you're feeling frisky and risky, try Open an Umbrella Indoor Day. And today it is also Blame Someone Else Day. Using superstition as an opportunity, National Blame Someone Else Day pawns off our mistakes onto others for reason. It is celebrated on the first Friday the 13th of the year. So it's Blame Someone Else Day. Friday the 13th bringing out some kind of celebrations, isn't it? And finally, before we get into Fast Facts and the news, today it is March 13th, which is the 41st anniversary of the start of the Grenada Revolution, March 13th, 1979. Just a little excerpt I'd read here from an article that says, on March 13th, 1979, Grenada's Prime Minister Sir Eric Mafigeri was ousted in a coup organized by the New Jewel Movement and led by Morris Bishop. Bishop was installed as Prime Minister of the newly established People's Revolutionary Government. So that's just a little excerpt of the historic facts behind today, the 41st anniversary of the start of Grenada's revolution. Good morning to everybody who have survived, lived through, experienced, that's all, who have experienced the Grenada Revolution. The good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, the positives, the negatives. It was definitely, some class it as a dark day in Grenada's history, but I know it has had different impacts on different people in different ways. So let us remember the historic facts behind March 13th, 1979. On that note, let's get ready for Fast Facts, and then we're going to get into the morning edition of news for those of you on radio, as well as a recap of last evening's newscast for those of you on television, Facebook, and the YouTube channel. Stick and stay. This is Classic and the GBN. Good morning, Grenada. Keep it locked. The fair of Friday the 13th is so popular, there are two clinical terms to describe it. Fast Facts is next. Bad luck on Friday the 13th might just be a superstition, but it's so prevalent across so many cultures that the date can actually influence people's behavior. So real is the fair of Friday the 13th that one scientific name wasn't enough. The fair of Friday the 13th is also called Frigatriskaidekaphobia or Paraskifidikatriophobia. Frigatriskaidekaphobia comes from Frigg, the Norse goddess of wisdom after whom Friday is named, and the Greek words triskaideka meaning 13 and phobia meaning fear. Paraskifidikatriophobia is also derived from Greek. Paraskivi translates as Friday, and dikatria is another way of saying 13. Experts say the fair of Friday the 13th affects millions of people and estimate that businesses, especially airlines, suffer from severe losses on Friday the 13th. Triskaidekaphobia, or the fear of the number 13, is even more widespread, so much so that many high-rise buildings, hotels, and even hospitals skip the 13th floor, and many airports quietly omit gate 13 sometimes. And that's Fast Facts.
Hello everyone, this is News at 7. I'm Conroy Batiste.
And I'm Beverly Tellisford.
Trinidad and Tobago today confirmed it has recorded its first imported case of COVID-19 after a resident returned from Switzerland on Monday. During a press conference on Thursday, Trinidad and Tobago's Health Minister Terence Dale Singh announced that a 52-year-old individual who resides in Trinidad and Tobago had been placed in isolation since Wednesday.
We now have the presentation of the first positive case. What we continue to say is, fortunately, it was an imported case. There seems to be a significant amount of isolation around this person, but it continues to evolve. We certainly continue to tell people there is no need for panic. We're telling people just continue to use your wits about you, use your common sense, and at this stage there is nothing that is concerning us for us to take any further steps.
Well, people within the state of Grenada are on heightened alert as the sister isle of Petite Martinique reports the quarantine of 2 on Thursday. During a press conference hosted by Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs, as well as Legal Affairs, Kendra Matthew-Stewart, and COVID-19 Coordinator Dr. Tyrone Davis, the announcement was made.
Report an update to all of us.
Yes. Good morning to the listeners on the various platforms. On Tuesday, March 10th, 2020, a yacht came into Petite Martinique without going through the proper clearance procedures. It is further reported that one of the passengers on board was ill. It is reported that the ill person on board recently had a heart surgery. That passenger did not disembark and remained on board. The passengers that came ashore ate at the Palm Beach restaurant. None of those passengers who came ashore displayed any symptoms of respiratory illness. Therefore, the risk of contracting respiratory illness to any persons that were in contact with those that disembarked the yacht is very low. However, out of an abundance of caution, the COVID-19 coordinator of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, Dr. Davis, recommended that the waiter who served the group go into self-quarantine. The waiter, along with family members, are currently in self-quarantine. We will continue to update the public if any changes occurs. Thank you.
We have asked the
Minister Matthew-Stewart says they have requested the assistance of the Royal Grenada Police Force in the matter.
Police force who are stationed in Grenada to be extra vigilant and to up the surveillance with respect to that. And we're also asking the members of the community of Petite Martinique to assist us in that regard. So we have spoken with the parties and they understand the need to be in self-quarantine. The police is alert and the police is aware, and we expect that those measures in place and the persons in self-quarantine will remain there for the required period.
With the coronavirus hitting closer to our shores and with a number of deaths recorded as a result of the deadly virus around the world, funeral agencies are leaving no stones unturned when it comes to preparedness. Chrislina John visited the Otway Bailey Funeral Home today to find out what they are doing should they be faced with a corpse from the virus.
Undertakers are among those preparing for the imminent arrival of COVID-19. Some have begun making adjustments to the way they handle the bodies of those who died from the virus. Marcus Bailey, director at Otway Bailey Funeral Home, says as much as possible they practice universal safety precautions. For this purpose, they have implemented certain preventative measures that employees and customers ought to adopt.
We encourage our employees to use hand sanitizers. We are trying to limit our contact with people, so we're currently in a handshake-free zone. Downstairs in the view room, we've also put up signs asking people to avoid touching bodies, and if you do touch, you sanitize directly after that. And we've also erected signs in the washroom asking people to please wash your hands before exiting. Right? Upon entry to deal with any one of our funeral arrangers, there's hand sanitizer in the office. We sanitize before, and we ask you to sanitize sanitize before you leave the office.
Added to this, Bailey says for removal and mortuary staff, they have introduced longer gloves, additional gowns, plastic gowns that goes over the existing gowns to ensure added protection.
For pickup points, once we're handling bodies, full body suits will be worn along with respirators. So staff will be protected, because one of our main concerns is that our staff is properly protected on the job, because all our staff have children, so you get infected on the job and you go home and it moves on to your families. So we try our best to make sure that our staff is always properly attired to handle situations that might occur in here.
As it relates to how long a body of a person who died of the coronavirus should be kept, Bailey says discussions are being held. However, they have not yet reached a decision.
In terms of keeping a body, right, that section of it is going to be discussed. We've been having meetings with different organizations. Well, actually, we had meetings with NADMA, and we've had meetings with Health Department, right? And they are putting steps in place to determine exactly how long bodies will be kept. Once that has happened, or if it's going to be a situation where somebody dies as a confirmed coronavirus case, we will possibly do an immediate burial. Right? So it's basically, it's up to them, where whatever the government decides to do, we'll be working along with them and try and see how fast we can get the process running.
Chrislina John, GBN News.
Now, St. George's University says it is following guidance for institutions of higher learning to stem the spread of COVID-19. As such, classes have been suspended. We have more in this report.
Classes at the St. George's University SGU have been suspended, and students advised to return home for the next 4 weeks until further notice. A press release issued by the university on Wednesday says the action is a precautionary measure against the spread of COVID-19. SGU's statement says it has been closely following the global outbreak of the coronavirus, including its recent characterization as a pandemic, as well as the potential implications it may have on its True Blue Grenada campus and the larger community in Grenada. The statement says, and I quote, that while at this time there are no confirmed COVID-19 cases in Grenada, the safety and well-being of students, faculty and staff and the larger Grenada community are of paramount importance to us. Our goal is to make prudent decisions that reflect our commitment to the ongoing safety of our campus community and that of the people of Grenada, unquote. SGU has decided to encourage all international students on the Grenada campus to return home, with the situation being re-evaluated by the 15th of April. According to the release, students will only return to Grenada when it's well advisable and the global pandemic has stabilized. Some students and faculty, both local and international, will remain in Grenada, and the campus will remain open for all who continue to reside there, with full use of campus facilities. The university says it will continue to operate the campus in Grenada with full staffing, with no change to current employment status, pay or benefits. These actions are taken out of concern for students, faculty and staff, and the desire to maintain public health in Grenada in light of this rapidly changing situation. In addition, SGU says it is working closely with the government of Grenada to assist with preparations for enhancing the public health infrastructure on the island. There are no confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Grenada. However, countries in the Caribbean, such as Cuba, Jamaica, Guyana, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Trinidad and Tobago have reported confirmed cases. Tony Julian, GBN News.
GBN reached out to Health Minister Nicholas Steele about the decision made by the St. George's University. He told GBN government appreciates where the university is coming from, although they don't fully support the action taken.
Their motivation is to relieve the Grenadian health sector of of as much burden as possible, and also to look after the health and safety of their own students, and that recognizing that some of their students would prefer, although there is a widespread community breakout in the U.S., some of their students would prefer to return to their homes to wait this storm out at home rather than here in Grenada. As well, they have also committed as a conscious social partner here in Grenada to the immediate purchase and delivery of 25 additional ventilators for us to use in support should we, or the inevitable outbreak of COVID-19 here in Grenada, and also are interacting with us on any of the other things and support that we need.
Regarding reports that medical personnel in hazmat suits were seen removing 2 students from the SGU campus, Minister Steele had this response.
That's a dramatization, not in hazmat suits at all. Medical personnel responded with masks, regular surgical masks or so, to an individual who had said they had flu-like symptoms. They examined the individual, etc. They gave the individual the medication for flu-like symptoms, and just asked the medical, I believe, asked the individual to avoid classes for the next couple of days or so with the flu-like symptoms. But they did not see it as, from all that they're reporting, as a possible COVID-19 case at all. It's just out of an abundance of caution. Everybody's a bit uneasy from the time somebody says they're sneezing. So they went that way, and that's all that it created the wrong impression on campus also. Rest assured that if or when we have a case, whether it's at SGU or anywhere else in Grenada, we will most definitely notify the public.
News at 7. During Tuesday's post-cabinet briefing, Minister for Health Nicholas Steele told the media his ministry met with officials from the Grenada Trades Union Council to discuss a response to COVID-19. However, President of the Trades Union Council, Andre Lewis, says that meeting never took place. More details in this report.
The health minister says the meeting held last week followed a written request by the GTUC. He described the meeting as successful.
The ministry did meet with the Trade Union Council. Permanent Secretary met with a delegation. The reports back from the meeting or minutes of the meeting were quite positive in terms of the Trade Union Council stands ready to interact and participate in our preparations. So we welcomed it. I welcomed it last week, and as far as I'm concerned, it continues to go well.
However, during this morning's To The Point program, President of TUC, Andre Lewis, says the minister's statement is untrue.
And I heard a repeat of GBN news that was carried last night. And in that news, the Minister for Health also almost said help. We really need help in truth. Indicated that the Grenada Trades Union Council met with the Ministry of Health sometime last week on the matter of the coronavirus. I want to say that this is the furthest from the truth.
Lewis categorically stated that the union is yet to receive a response to 2 of their letters requesting a meeting.
As a matter of fact, we wrote the Minister of Health on the 24th of February requesting certain answers to some concerns that we had. That was of concern to not just the TUC, but the labor movement and the population as a whole, as to what was being done to help protect our country from that threat. We then followed up with a letter addressed to the minister again on the 3rd of March and proposing to meet urgently on the 6th of March. As we speak right now, Blossom, we have not had even an acknowledgement from the Minister of Health to our request to meet.
The minister was contacted on Thursday to clarify exactly who he held the meeting with. This was his response.
Well, I heard what he said, and it's unfortunate what he said. And also, I would say, in particular, my postcard announcements were recorded, so you can go back and hear them. And I said that we were already meeting sectors of their membership, etc., and so on, that I most definitely welcome a meeting. I said that publicly because they are partners in this. He went on the radio this morning and said because I hadn't written him back as yet or he hadn't received a letter back from me as yet, that my statements are incorrect and I'm lying. I said I'm willing to meet them. I said that we are already meeting with some of their membership. The Ministry of Health met with the Public Workers Union, which is a member of the Trade Union Congress.
The GTUC president says they are in support of certain positions taken by government as it relates to restrictions of travel to certain countries, the return of nationals, and quarantine of persons showing symptoms of the virus. A meeting was scheduled for earlier this afternoon. However, Lewis is requesting to have a one-on-one discussion. Christina John, GBN News.
As Grenada and the rest of the world continue to look on and prepare for the spread of COVID-19, economist Dr. Patrick Antoine is warning of the significant impact the virus can have on the country. Sharian Blackman-Stephen has this report.
Economist Dr. Patrick Antoine says the spread of the coronavirus can have severe economic impact on Grenada. Speaking on Monday's Beyond the Headlines program with host Odette Campbell, Dr. Antoine spoke of what can be expected with the St. George's University used as an example.
If the epidemic continues to be unchecked and if we don't find a vaccine soon enough, it is likely to lead to a severe downturn in our global economic growth prospects. And today we're seeing prospects which in the medium term, if there is no check to the spread of the disease, which could see economic growth cut by about half from 3.3 to about 1.5%. So it certainly can do that.
Dr. Antoine believes that the continued spread of COVID-19 has the capacity to bring about a global recession.
While the St. George's University and the Ministry of Health are doing an excellent job at this time, if the disease continues to spread unchecked, it could have some long-term, medium to long-term effects on the way in which we recruit students from Asia. And certainly the way in which the university conducts its business, where it brings in big groups of persons to do familiarization tours, etc. So that both in respect of education services and tourism, if it's unchecked, we could see some drastic effects on our economic growth performance.
Speaking with GBN on Thursday via telephone out of Trinidad, Dr. Antoine said that if measures are not in place to contain the spread of COVID-19, that there'll be a major loss in productivity and economic growth. He pointed to the fact that SGU accounts for 21.7% of Grenada's gross domestic product.
If the U.S. reaction is severe, and that's my first scenario, it could impact us based on what we see now and what we know. But I want to say again, this could change. But based on the scenario that we're looking at now, the impacts through tourism and through SGU on a severe reaction by the United States could be impacting us in the vicinity of about 1% of GDP. And we've looked at this essentially by looking at the impacts on the rental sector, properties, and we've assumed that there would be a 6-month lag in people taking up rentals. We've looked at the impact on distribution on car rentals. We've looked at the laundromats and other related services, such as restaurants and bars, etc. So we're talking about 1% of GDP.
Tony Julian, GBN News.
Mental illness continues to affect many people. In this evening's GBN Health, my colleague Rena Pear speaks with a senior medical officer in the Ministry of Health on mental illness in men.
Signs of mental illness in men are sometimes overlooked and can result in severe depression and even suicide. Statistics show men die by suicide 3.5% more often than women. A study also shows men experience a higher rate suicide than women. Senior Medical Officer with responsibility for mental health, Sonia Nixon, says mental health in men can stem from a number of reasons.
Our men, even simple things, they don't really visit a doctor, they don't do a lot of the stuff that they're required to do. And we're seeing, as a result, more men appearing to be mentally ill. We thought the men we're asking our men every day to be a man. What is that? Does it mean that I can't cry when I feel sad? Does it mean that I may not become depressed? Does it mean that I don't have other illnesses like bipolar illness? There may be a family history of mental illness.
Dr. Nixon believes the norms of society outlines that boys should not express their emotions, and the stigma relating to mental illness in men can be detrimental to the nation's men. She spoke of some of the signs families should look for.
If you see your family starting to act strange, becoming very isolated, being a little paranoid, doesn't want to sleep inside, not trusting, not accustomed eating your food, they think you're poisoning them, they believe things belong to them, that really doesn't, they believe they're God, they believe they're hearing God, that they have, there are a lot of changes in behaviors. Or they might just become very isolated or just very irritable. Or you might see people, staying by themselves and crying. Once there's a change in the normal psychological and emotional behavior that is manifested, it raises a red flag.
The senior medical officer says treatment for the illness varies according to the mental disorder.
So families first have to accept that this is a possibility, even in my family. Even in my family, and that's where, killing the whole stigma starts. Mental illness is just another sickness. We often think that I am not going to Mount Gay. Mount Gay is where the mental health services are, where people are trained and experienced and willing to give the support that we require. Or sometimes you can just go to your family doctor.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
Spice Mass Corporation is in festive mood as it held its official media launch for Spice Mass 2020 today. The launch highlights what should be expected for the carnival season and how the public can be a part of it. Rena Pear has more.
It was all about culture today at the National Stadium as Spice Mass Corporation held its media launch for Carnival 2020. The corporation displayed various aspects of Grenada's culture at the event while informing the media of its plans and changes for this year's festive season. CEO of Spice Mass Corporation, Kelvin Jacob, says that while the theme for this year is the same with 2019, they will be focusing on a different aspect of Carnival.
Now, the theme for Spice Mass 2020 rolls over from last year, remains Spice Mass Many Events, One Carnival. This year, however, we will be focusing on our traditional mass. We'll be placing more emphasis on our traditional mass and making sure that the presence of our traditional mass is felt in our festival.
Registration is already open for persons seeking to host events, while vendors who wish to do business for the season will be able to register in the month of May. Jacob also spoke of other scheduled plans made by the corporation.
Carnival City venue was changed to Tantin Hardcourt. This year it remains on Tantin Hardcourt. However, we are going to be moving back to the Thursday nights rather than the Friday night. And Carnival City starts off on the 21st of May. So again, this year, all our shows will be produced. Tenders already went out for proposals for the services of creative directors for the said purpose. Juve continues to be a work in progress, and as ACP spoke to it already, we want to improve on it significantly this year.
The CEO stated that the corporation also found solutions to some of the problems faced in 2019.
We are putting structures in place to make sure that the marshalling is adequate for the purpose of moving the bands along the way. So we do not have lag time between the bands and we have trucks breaking down on the road, etc., and have bands 2 o'clock in the morning waiting to cross certain points and people getting fed up and going home. So we're really trying to work on that this year. So we are encouraging the bands who are going to be registering for Monday Night Mass to work along with us, especially with the trucks.
The corporation also pledged to be one of the safest and unique carnival in the region. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
This story to report economist Dr. Patrick Antwine addressing the hosting of Carnival in August, which was launched on Thursday, said that the COVID-19 pandemic is so dynamic that if the United States, Europe and other countries continue their trend in closing borders to travel, Spice Mass 2020 will be impacted.
There is no response that I can point to globally that gives me a sense that we're handling this crisis in the best way that we can at the level of governance. President of the United States' reaction, for instance, was quite alarming to many. And I think we need to start looking at other countries having reactions that are similar to President Trump's and look at what the impact of that is going to be for us.
Dr. Entwine told GBN government should be cautiously monitoring the situation daily.
A very dynamic situation which raises much concern for us. And if this is not checked, we may have to do as Michael Julian suggested, and have a second look at evaluating whether we continue with the festivities closer to the end, to the middle of the year in August. We're talking about Carnival. But we need to be monitoring from moment to moment. This is quite serious.
Assistant Commissioner of Police Jesmond Prince says band operators will be held responsible for their members if they are found breaking the law as it relates to nudity and indecent exposure. The officer explained that each band signed an agreement with Spice Fast Corporation and will be held accountable.
All of the band leaders, all of the people that are going to be involved in mass and have been registered and so on, they sign an agreement. There is a document that they sign to, and there are rules and so on governing what the expectation is in terms of the delivering of mass. And they will be held accountable to that dimension. The expectation and the hope is that those persons who sign on to that, they would allow or they would execute in accordance with the document that is signed to. So anybody that is within the organization or within the mass band that is displaying or that is behaving in any way that is contrary to law, then of course that would take a different approach.
ACP Prince said that while they are there to enforce the law, officers will not be seen entering bands removing masqueraders because of nudity or indecent exposure, but rather a different approach will be taken.
Approach is going to be very simple. If you sign to an agreement and you said you're going to do something and you fail to do that, there can be legal action against you after. You don't have to run to do everything right there and then, and some person's pocket can hurt them if you found to be breaking the rules when you sign and agree to something. So you have to look at it from that angle.
All right, let's cross now to this evening's GBN ISAW. Compliments Clear Vision Eye Center.
A rare sight to behold in the middle of the city on a Thursday. Though the pictures are perfect, our ISAW reporter thought it was rather unusual to find the Melville Street in St. George's almost vacant on a usually busy midday. You can send in your photo and video submissions via our social media platforms.
Coming to Grenada.
One of the most spectacular concert events in Christian music. It all happens 7 p.m. Saturday, March 21st at the National Cricket Stadium.
Featuring 5-time Grammy-nominated and 7-time Dove Award winner Karen Peck and New River.
From the American television show The Voice, Emily Ann Roberts.
From Canada, the amazing music from the Titans.
From the island of Jamaica, the talented and gifted Foster Triplets. Plus, the best of Grenadian gospel artists.
Again, this all happens 7 p.m. on Saturday, March 21st at the National Cricket Stadium with some of gospel music's finest. Karen Peck and New River.
Emily Ann Roberts.
The Titans.
The Foster Triplets.
And more.
Tickets sold at all ticket outlets. Proceeds go towards enhancing youth work in Grenada.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
Once upon a time, we shopped at Wonderland, then Neverland. But we're all grown up now and no longer believe in fairy tales. So now we just shop at Shoes R Us. At Shoes R Us, we stock the latest in shoes, tops, and jeans for the fashion-conscious lady. We also carry colognes and much, much more. And for the modern trendy male, we have the latest brand name shoes and sneakers, Converse, Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss, Puma, and much more. So check us out at our two convenient locations, Melville Street in St. George and Benjoin Street in Granville. At Shoes R Us, we say, come shop with us.
It's detox time again at Nirvana Natural Health Clinic Detox Center. The festive season is over, so let's start 2020 looking and feeling like a boss with our many body cleansing options. Purchase detox products as low as $50. Purchase detox combo packs as low as $100. Receive 10% off on all in-house colonic irrigation treatment. Take control of your health now. Don't delay. Call us on 231-6642, 418-7115, or 449-7753. We are located in Belmont, St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area. These offers are valid from January to March or while stocks last. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic Detox Center. Detox your way to health.
Grenada, 1795. One man with a sense of destiny.
Tonight we stand our ground. Tonight we stand on the side of history.
14,000 slaves with a dream and a promise. Julian Fedor, a Heritage Theatre production, written and directed by Chris DeRiggs, 28th and 29th March, 4th and 5th April at the Trade Center.
People was not made to live like this. It's like we have a cause.
Julian Fedor, an action-packed historical drama.
I see blood falling from the sky, filling up that mountain river, flowing from Belvedere Hills. I see blood.
4 big nights of theater, the play the nation has been waiting to see, with Sam Ogilvy, Lisa Grappy James, Robert White, Dale Devine, and other top-of-the-line acting talents. Opening Saturday, 28th March. Get your tickets now.
I'm reaching my dreams with GOT. They're the ones for me. I'm reaching my dreams with GOT. They're the ones for me. Since 1983, they've been serving the country, and we like all their financing, giving the people what they want, what they need, what they love. Come and join the family that's here for you all the way. From birth to graduation, your first job to your home, and your car through your golden years.
The GT Credit Union has been actively supporting nation building through its many sponsorships and programs, including Financial Literacy Quiz, Pass the Torch Calypso Program, Junior Cooperatives in Secondary Schools, CPEA, and the TAMCC Grants. The credit union has helped many people make their dreams come true. Let them help you with yours. You don't have to be a teacher to be a member. So what are you waiting for?
GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants, winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, leading automotive shops, and distributed by Huggins.
This is your Grenlec, and our story is one of change and development. We strive to ensure that you have the reliable service you depend on every day, at home, at work, and at play. We understand the importance of electricity in propelling our economy and affording our customers an enhanced, convenient, and comfortable life. Our performance indicators show that Grenlec is one of the best utilities in the Caribbean, but our mission is far from accomplished. We now strive to exceed your expectations. This is our Grenlec, and we are proud to serve you.
Welcome back. Good morning, Grenada. It's 20 minutes after 7. Those of you just joining us, happy to have you. Those of you still with us, happy that you stayed. This morning, we're talking the Ariza National Champs takes place this weekend, tomorrow to be precise, at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. I have in studio with me right now the president of the Grenada Athletic Association, Aaron Moses, who's going to give us some updated information as we prepare for tomorrow's event. Good morning, Mr. Moses.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here, and I need to correct you, the first vice president.
First vice president, my humblest of apologies. Yeah. My humblest of apologies. All is well?
I think so.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm feeling good.
Nice to know. So we're getting ready for national champs tomorrow, God willing. Tell me what's the latest with preparations to stage the event.
Well, we are ready. As you may be aware, our national championships is one of the important events in our national calendar. As a IAAF affiliate, every country must hold a national championships. So this is our event, and we utilize our national championships to choose our national representatives who are going to go on to represent Grenada at regional and international meets. So this is very important. Immediately we'll be choosing our team for character games. So it's an opportunity for virtually every athlete in Grenada to showcase their talent. Given the mandate that we have, we are supposed to provide opportunity for just about every individual who is desirous of participating in every athletic event, whether it's jumps, throws, or running. So you'll see the 5,000 meters, you'll see the 3,000 meters, you'll see triple jump. Just about every event that we have athletes who are prepared to participate will be on show.
You have 400 athletes in all?
Just over 400 athletes registered, which is a significant quantity of events. In the past, we have held the championships over 2 days, but on this occasion, it's going to be an extended day. So it starts at 10 and anticipated to end around 7:30, 8 o'clock. So we're talking about 98 events packed in to one day. So it's going to be a long day of intensive competitive activity.
Which are let's start with the field events that we should be most anticipating, I would say?
Well, Grenada has traditionally been very good proponents, not proponents, but very, very good participants in our field events. We have done well regionally and internationally. Currently, we have a crop of young javelin throwers, so you're going to see the future on show. The guys who are knocking at the door, most of them have been compatriots of Anderson, have been training with him. And so they are looking to improve and to impress and to qualify to represent Grenada and to follow in Anderson's footsteps. Similarly, we have a number of young guys doing the shot put again. Significant talent also in the girls. So as you rightly indicated, the field events are always a very important part of our athletic events.
And from your point of view, which track events would be maybe most competitive on the day?
Well, very interestingly, if you've been following our sports, and it's the right thing to do, we have had a lot of focus on our junior athletes. And so on this occasion, we have athletes participating in the under 7 category all the way up to open events. And if you look at the pre-primary, both private and other individual schools' activities for the year, we see a lot of emerging talent. Very exciting, very competitive, tremendous support from parents. So we expect the competition to be very significant at the lower levels, where we get to showcase and see, wow, these are some of the kids that are coming up and they're doing pretty well. So you will see across the board throughout the day lots of competitive activities.
Over the years, or the history of track and field, not just in Grenada but around the world, boys are usually faster on the track. But I've noted in Grenada that our girls have continually improved in their timings in the various events. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, performance is a function of many things. It's a function of good genetics. It's a function of training, coaching, appropriate nutrition, commitment, support from parents and coaches. So it's a number of things that need to come together. Leadership, athletes have to be inspired and motivated from a health perspective. They have to see opportunities for education, for gaining a livelihood through athletics. So when all those things come together, we see a renewed emphasis and focus. And the more kids we can attract and point in the direction, giving them wider opportunities, to see their future, I think all those things have contributed to the sort of renewed enthusiasm, particularly among the young people. And there's nothing like success. So when our young people see, athletes on the world stage performing very well, they are inspired and motivated to do so. So I think we are benefiting from all those things.
In terms of our international athletes, as a member of the association, how prolific have they been outside there? We hear about them at home, and then sometimes they go up to colleges, or they change locations, homes, and we don't really hear much about them.
Well, the path to international success is a very difficult one. It's extremely competitive. We are extremely fortunate, a very small country as Grenada, to have produced athletes who can command the respect of the entire world. So what we have done so far is nothing short of phenomenal. And that's not limited to Grenada. The entire Caribbean is doing extremely well. But we need to put that in perspective. It's not easy to produce a Kirani James or Anderson Peters. It takes a lot. And it does not come very often. The fact that we have been doing it fairly often enough, relatively, is extremely good. But there is a lot that effort, resources that have to go into producing athletes at the international level. A lot of effort and resources have to go into the development phase at the early age in our school system, giving them what is required and taking them through the entire process. Essentially, athletics is about individual capacity, talent, and pursuit. The human body is a machine, and that's a very fickle machine. Anything can happen.
Sure.
One injury could end the life of an athlete. So there is an element of, I would say, chance or fate that is involved. But nevertheless, you have to pursue. So an athlete can be doing very well today, and you don't see them for the next year or two because of some injury. So it is occupational hazard. Once you're in the business of athletics, whatever sport you play, So that is why sometimes you may have an athlete doing well and you're not hearing about them for a year or two. So these are the challenges.
Mentioning injuries, it continues to be an issue here at home when it comes to our national events, whether it's school or at the national level, where we see athletes being inflicted with hamstring and falling at the finish line and so on. What role does the GAA play to ensure we at least reduce the amount of injuries that take our athletes?
Well, injuries are a function of many things. You got to have the right nutrition. You got to be trained appropriately. You got to have the right physiotherapist. So you need to be aware of your body. Your coaches need to be paying attention. So once you're treated all those things, you minimize the opportunities for getting injured. And even then, irrespective of all that you do, sometimes the body just breaks down. So it is an inevitable consequence of the sport. You have to have all the resources that are necessary to assist. So you find during our sport meets, you have our physiotherapists at hand, you have our health professionals at hand. For simple things, athletes get dehydrated. So the athletes have to understand their bodies and, to hydrate appropriately. So they can get excited and forget that. So it's a number of variables, but we do have mechanisms in place to treat with some of those eventualities.
What about training for our officials? You just mentioned the physiotherapist or health officials. What training does the GAA provide for?
Well, Successful development of athletics is a holistic thing. You got to treat with athletes, you got to treat with facilities, you have to treat with officials. So every element of the mix have to be addressed appropriately. So periodically we do have training sessions for our officials. We have approximately 200 officials who have been trained and been exposed to officiating at our various meets, and that is continuous. We periodically have refreshers, so that's in place.
Well, let's take a quick break and come back inside. We're speaking with First Vice President of the Grenada Athletic Association, Mr. Aaron Moses, primarily in the national champs, but we're speaking everything athletics while I have him in my presence. Stick and stay on Classic and GBN. We'll be right back.
How going on, boy? Hey, good old things. Hey, Daisy. Yeah. Boy, line, boy, your house looking a real good day. Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service. Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy. Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
Whenever we're faced with difficulties, we find comfort in those we know and trust. This is especially true when a loved one has died.
Welcome to Otway Bailey Funeral Home.
For over 100 years, Otway Bailey Funeral Home has helped families celebrate the lives of their loved ones with compassion and dignity. Our affordability, attention to detail, warm and caring staff has contributed us being the funeral home of choice for official and state funerals. We treat you as we would treat our own family. All of our services are designed to help you get through one of the most personal and challenging stages of life, whether it's planning a funeral, joining our burial society, or pre-arrangements. You can be assured of the Otway Bailey commitment to consistently provide the most caring and professional service possible with the best options and price. So call us 440-2558 or visit our website, otwaybaileyfuneralhome.org.
At Otway Bailey, we offer the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Use Clay. It washing cleaner than ever. Oh mama, oi. Oh mama, oi. In every household, must have it, oi. Highly effective. Stain removal, lemon freshness. Antibacterial washing powder. Fresh and clean. Fresh and clean. When I put on me clothes, me must win. When I wash me clothes, no other detergent could ever wash me clothes like this.
Now buy 3 bottles of Clay's dishwashing liquid for only $8. Available at Best for Less Supermarket, Eat Fresh Supermarket, M&C Joe's Supermarket, Home Pride Supermarket, The Food Fairs, Carenage and Grandans, Roberts Enterprise, Springs Food Mart, and Charlo's Supermarket.
Other Clay's products available: hand sanitizer, fabric softener, hand washing liquid, dishwashing liquid, and toilet cleaners. Distributed by Fortune Foods Company Limited, Tempe St. George.
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada, deep inside the discussion with First Vice President of the Grenada Athletic Association, Aaron Moses. We're talking the Arise National Champs, carded for tomorrow, God willing, at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Before we get back into more details about the National Champs, something that I wanted to ask as a senior member of the Athletic Association. Earlier you mentioned the National Champs would be used to select teams to represent Grenada on the regional and international stage, one of the upcoming events being Carifta.
That's correct.
With the current health issues going on around the world related to coronavirus, COVID-19, just earlier this week, Antigua announced they were withdrawing their team from Carifta in light of the virus's spread. Is the GAA considering that at this time?
The GAA is monitoring. We have our concerns. The information we have at present is that Bermuda is preparing. They are ready. The head of NACAC, which is the regional athletic body, have indicated that the games will go on at this point in time. If there are any occurrences or information that comes to the fore that can impact that decision, we'll have to look at it. I'm aware that I've seen a report that Antigua has withdrawn. I'm not aware that any other country have withdrawn. Jamaica had their championships to choose the athletes 2 weeks ago. I am aware Jamaica has suspended the national champs, which is the secondary schools, because it's a massive event over 5 days, and on the final day you have over 30,000 persons in the stadium. So I'm not aware of what are the mitigating circumstances that inform the decision.
Right.
But as far as I'm aware, so far they have not indicated that they would not be participating in Carifta. So we are preparing, but will be guided by future changes.
That also brings to mind the activity tomorrow, God willing, and I guess people may be a bit concerned about turning out in crowds in large numbers.
Well, there have been a few fears expressed, but the issue is we are guided by national policy. There is no indication from the government that we should not be walking the streets and congregating. So we have to plan, we have to continue to do what we're doing. There is no indication that the virus is in Grenada yet, as we don't know. So we are praying and proceeding.
As planned?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's get back now. More into Ariza National Champs. Ariza has come on board, not come on board, they've been on board with National Champs for some time, giving them financial backing.
That's correct.
How appreciative is the GAA for Ariza's support?
Of course we are. To mount any athletic event is a very expensive venture, and so it requires the support of all our athletes, our officials who have donated their time, and includes the corporate sector. It has to be a partnership. So we are extremely grateful for Ariza's support. They came on board 3 years ago. However, given the hiatus last year, it did not happen. So they are back this year, and we are extremely grateful for their headline support. And we are working very closely to ensure we have a very high quality games tomorrow. So Ariza is a very important, critical partner in this relationship.
You mentioned the financial strain that it would take to host an event like National Champs, and companies like Ariza coming on board helps a great deal. How has collaboration been between the GAA and the corporate community of Grenada to ensure not just National Champs, but other events put on by the Athletic Association can be held?
Well, it's a growing and deepening relationship. As we progress towards broadening and improving the quality of our athletes, as we progress towards providing opportunities for athletes to compete, it will take a lot of resources. And so corporate input and government support has become very important because it's a partnership. And so at the same token, we have to ensure that our corporate supporters and sponsors get their desired due, that we meet and exceed their expectations. Any corporate sponsor would like to be associated with a professionally run event that can add something to their profile and their image as a supporter of sound development activities. Athletics is, of course, a focus on our young people, providing them with healthy options to grow and develop. And so any corporate sponsor would want to be associated with a, well-run professional activity that complements their mission of providing goods and services to the society. So we have seen more and more corporate sponsors paying more attention to sport in Grenada, and we certainly hope to cement that growing relationship as we move forward.
I'm just seeing a note on Facebook, comes from Jazel, the PR in the Ministry of Sports, and she's saying that one, St. Vincent has withdrawn from Currituba, but two, there's a St. Vincent, and two, there's a communication.
I'm not aware of that.
Communication coming out from the Bermuda Currituba there's communication coming from the St. Kitts Athletic Association that the Bermuda 2020 Currituba Athletics Championships has been postponed.
Well, I am not aware of that. I have not received any communication.
Well, as of this morning.
And I was on my email this morning. Okay. So maybe
we'll continue to monitor.
It has come after, because that should be coming from the head of NACAC, Mike Sands.
Right.
He communicated yesterday advising that it's still on. So unless something has changed in the last half an hour, yes.
Okay. We'll keep monitoring just in case. But nevertheless, we're preparing for national champs tomorrow, God willing.
That's correct.
What's the price of admission?
Well, it's very attractive. We'll be only using the main stand, and it's $10 a seat. Only $10. It starts at 10 in the morning because it's a long day. Like I said, 98 events anticipated to conclude between 7:30 and 8. So it's a very attractive price targeted at families. It's a family event. As I said, we're going to have the kids from the under 7 all the way up. So we are expecting families to turn out and support the kids. So it's priced with that in mind.
Considering the cost of these events, to host these events, when we hear about a $10, some people might go, whoa, that's a lot of money. But is it enough?
Absolutely not. That price, so we have to blend our corporate sponsorship to complement.
Right.
It's never enough. Even if you charge, based on the event, in excess of $100, fees alone is not gonna cover the cost of running such an event.
What's the cost of running such an event? Give me a ballpark.
Well, it depends on the level of event, and we have a number of events. Our largest event, for instance, is the Whitsuntide Games, which is carded for the Whitsun weekend, which we are working on, subject to changes in the environment. On such an occasion, like last year, we had over 200 athletes from around the Caribbean and a few from further afield, and we were anticipating 300 athletes. If you bring in foreign athletes into the country, you're talking about accommodation, transportation cost. So depending on the level of event, the cost is going to vary.
Right.
In the case of the national champs, which is our local, the cost structure is different. But what obtains to fill an event like that, you got to pay for the facility. You got to provide support, meals, water for all athletes and officials. On this occasion, we contribute to buses to bring the various schools in. So transportation cost. Number of other variables. You got to pay the media if you want to be broadcasting, streaming, whatever, that costs money. You got to pay for tents. Of course, you get some corporate support. You need barriers. You need chairs. So there are a lot of inputs that have to go in to have an attractive product at the end of the day. So it's a very expensive.
So we say national champs would cost about $200,000 to put on?
We managed to do it with much less. But
in a perfect world, it would take
quite a few thousands.
All right. So just remind us again, national champs tomorrow, the time, the place, expectations.
At the National Stadium, it starts at 10, finishes between 7:30 and 8. It's going to be using the main stand, and it's $10 per seat. Everything else will be there.
Expectations, athletes, clubs,
we'll
schools.
Be collaborating with Ariza. We have 19 clubs participating, including 2 from St. Vincent. So over 400 athletes on show. So you'll see the best of Grenada's athletics offering in terms of individual athletes on show tomorrow.
I'll definitely pass through.
So we're looking forward to thrilling our patrons. So please come on down and support the young people of Grenada.
Nice. Thank you very much, Mr. Moses.
My pleasure.
Thank you once again to the first Vice President of the Grenada Athletics Association, Aaron Moses, for passing through. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us this morning. Those of you leaving us, you have 14 minutes to get to your work desk on time. It's 14 minutes to 8. Those of you sticking and staying on Classic and the GBN, don't touch that dial. Have a good one, everybody. Have a good day. Remember, keep it locked. GBN channels 7, 11, and 20. Classic 105.5, 105.9.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants, winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, leading automotive shops, and distributed by Huggins.
It's detox time again at Nirvana Natural Health Clinic Detox Center. The festive season is over, so let's start 2020 looking and feeling like a boss with our many body cleansing options. Purchase detox products as low as $50. Purchase detox combo packs as low as $100. Receive 10% off on all in-house colonic irrigation treatment. Take control of your health now. Don't delay. Call us on 231-6642, 418-7115, or 449-7753. We are located in Belmont, St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area. These offers are valid from January to March or while stocks last. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic Detox Center. Detox your way to health.
Why not stay in? Turn off the alarm clock and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz. For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.